Hey guys, welcome to another video here. Today I don't have anything too exciting, but I just want to share a couple things, so let's get to it. I just went out and bought this heater here because I went over to my friend's house a few days ago and he bought the same one, and he's got a garage about the similar size of the one that I have, and it does a really good job. So I went right out and bought one, and we're gonna try it out and put it together and see how it works. All right, well, just a couple things here. About 2 months ago, I went and I bought this heater here. It's electric, and I'm kind of undecided on it. I mean, I don't come out here a lot, but it gets pretty cold. And this place here, when I built this garage, I insulated it really good. All the walls are insulated. Let me try to get you up here so you can see with you know, good whatever it is. Yeah, it says right there R19 insulation. So I got that all along all the walls in this place. And I had one of those electric heaters before, and it just, in the other garage that I was at, the 20 by 40, and it just didn't really work that good. So I bought another one here thinking it was going to work really good in this place, and I'm kind of disappointed with it. I mean, it works all right. It's like 25 degrees outside today, and it's like on constantly, and it just doesn't get that hot. So I'm not really that impressed with it for the amount of electricity that it seems to suck up. So it works good. The thing I like about it is because you can leave it alone and you don't have to worry about it. Like, you could just set it for like 50 and just leave it, where, like, you know, I know this kind of stuff. And actually I got this other heater over here. This thing here works pretty good too, but it uses a lot of propane. So, but stuff like this and that, you can't really leave it unattended all day. I mean, you probably could, but I wouldn't recommend doing that. Where this thing here, it's got the thermostat right on it, and I got a remote right here for it. So you just set it and you can leave it all day and not have to worry about a fire or carbon monoxide or anything like that. So I guess they all have their advantages and disadvantages. My friend's garage is probably about the same size as this. This is 20 by 20, and his garage isn't insulated, and we were in there the other day and he had the same exact one, and I actually was blown away on how good of a job it does. You know, the thing about these too is it gives off fumes that makes your eyes water, but this one actually didn't seem that bad. I mean, you know, if it gets that bad, just open a window or whatever. But that's another reason why you got to watch like this kind of heater and that kind of heater there, because the fumes and the carbon monoxide it gives off. But for what I'm doing in here, like most of the time I just do projects. I'm working on my duster right now. As you can see, a little bit of a pack rat sometimes. I just heard that heater that's going to kick on. It clicks. There it goes. And it does a good job for what it is. It just doesn't, it takes a long time to heat it up. But yeah, anyway, I just work on projects in here for the most part. Just, you know, stupid stuff really. Building my little jet engines and, you know, all the fun stuff. I'll take you for a tour through this place. Air compressor. I got my paint station right here. All my painting stuff, airbrushing stuff, and, you know, just stuff over here. You know, plasma cutter, and there's just not that much room in this garage, but hopefully that's going to change in the near future here. But anyway, I'm just going to make do with what I got for now. And also, if you watched my other video, my last video with the shelves, I was putting shelves in my trailer. That's another reason why I like that, because I got the shelves and the metal brake and all the other tools in my trailer, and now I could just simply carry this in there if I want to do some metal work, just because I don't have the room in here, and kind of have a little bit of heat in there as I'm messing around. So that's another cool thing about this. So it comes with a siphon, so you can siphon fuel. That's actually pretty cool, because the gas cans they have nowadays are garbage. So yeah, this company probably sees that. And I'm just doing this for my own fun of making a video kind of thing. This company is not sponsoring me or or anything like that to do a product review. I'm just doing this because I just like making videos and sharing my interest and all that with you guys, so get that crap out of the way. Alright, we got some instructions here. Let's see if we can find the English ones. Never use gasoline. Well, that's pretty obvious. Use 1K water clear kerosene only. I don't know what that means, but we're just going to use the regular kerosene we buy down at the convenience store. How about that? After dry burning, be sure to wait 60 minutes before lighting. This will allow wick to be saturated. I actually watched a YouTube video on this heater before I went and got it, like a couple reviews and directions and stuff like that. It seems pretty straightforward. The only thing they said to do was fill it up with kerosene and wait about an hour before you try to light it, so we'll have to find something to do to waste some time for an hour. So let's just go ahead and put this thing together here. I'm actually kind of intrigued on how this thing works. The thing, like, I've been like on a jet engine building kick for a while, and the thing looks like the inside of a jet engine. I probably shouldn't be taking it apart before I try it, but it actually kind of helps if you know how things work before you try them. That way, if you have problems, you kind of know like where to go. That's just me though. I have to take everything apart. It looks like we got a couple screws here to hold this top on. And it comes with a couple batteries here that go in this for the igniter. Yeah, I'm real smart. I got a knife sitting right here and I use a screw to open up the package. Typical guy, right? Alright, now the one video I watched, the review, said that if you look in this little hole right here, you can see the igniter, so let's try it. Let's see if the igniter works. Alright, so we're gonna push this little thing over here and see if we could see the thing heat up. Oh yeah, there it is. Alright, cool. Alright, now it's time to put some fuel in this thing. Make a big mess. I got one of the last few dying breed gas cans right here, if you know what I mean. These gas cans nowadays, I don't know what they're doing, but they're garbage. And if you got one like this, one of the old style ones, you don't know how lucky you are. This is the only one I got, and I cherish it. I'm gonna cry when this thing breaks. When it's full, we got 8 hours of run time, and when it's half, we got 4 hours of run time. So that's not bad. And I don't know exactly how much this thing took, but I mean, this is a 5-gallon thing, and it only felt like it took like 2 gallons. So 2 gallons to run 8 hours. So that's $3.50 a gallon. So $7 to run 8 hours. I mean, that's about $1 an hour. I mean, that's, you know, and for 23,000 BTU, you can't really beat that. So if you ran it all the time, it'd be 24 bucks a day, which, I mean, that's not that bad. And I don't know who would run this constantly. All right, put this cap back on. There we go. Alright, so the directions said to let it sit an hour after fueling when it's brand new, so it is 12:08 right now. So let's come back at 1:08 or whatever, about 10 after 1. And let's check on this thing and see what it looks like. So we're waiting for this kerosene heater to let the wick get soaked here. Another thing I just bought, I've always wanted one of these things, but always done it the hard way. Every time I have a dead battery around here, I gotta jump it and get jumper cables and stuff. I've been wanting one of these for a long time, and I finally got one. So I've seen there's a lot of bad reviews on this, and some good reviews too. I mean, mostly good, but we actually have that same exact jumper pack at work, and it gets abused by everybody and left outside and never charged and knocked over and all that all the time, and it still works just great. So I don't care what the reviews say. I mean, every now and then you get a bad product, but the one at work proved itself. So I went out and bought the same exact one, and I actually have the perfect thing to test it out on. So let's go check it out. I have my old Ferguson TO20 here, and every time I start this thing the battery's dead. I'm too cheap to buy a battery for it because this thing never gets driven, and the little times I use it, it's actually easier just to jump it. So the batteries, when you don't use them, that's when they die. So first of all, I got to put antifreeze in this thing because I only run water in it because it leaks a little bit. So in the summertime I run water, and with everything going on, the cold weather kind of snuck up on me, and I didn't have time to put antifreeze in it. So when we got the first freeze here, I just went out and pulled the plugs on the radiator and just drained the water out of everything, so it's all dry, and the block wouldn't crack or nothing. So let's put antifreeze in this thing before we start it up here. And no, this isn't the right radiator for this tractor. Somebody cut a big hole in the hood and put a different radiator in it, and the thing leaks. So someday I'm going to restore this tractor. I've restored a few of these old tractors, and they're a lot of fun. I highly doubt this thing's going to start. Watch, it starts right up. Alright, perfect. This is actually one of the times we actually want a dead battery, so we can test our jumper pack out. Yeah, this is actually a 6-volt system, but I converted it over to 12 volt. Everything is converted to 12 volt except the starter, because good luck trying to find a 12 volt starter for one of these things. Lay this thing down. Break it on my first day. Alright. This tractor probably hasn't ran in about a month and a half. Wanting a fire, I guess. Alright. Well, I don't feel like fiddling with this thing right now to get it started. It's probably, obviously doesn't have any spark, but the moral of this whole story is that this jumper pack obviously works very well, and that's all I wanted to prove. So I just don't feel like messing with this right now, and I just don't have the time. So at least I know the jumper pack works. That was the main part of this, doing this whole thing. So yeah, I don't know, maybe I'll make a video at a later date on getting this thing running. Actually, this is the first time it didn't start on me. So usually I let this thing sit 6 months and I come out and it starts right up. Just got to jump it. So who knows? Yeah, we'll get to this at a later date. So good enough. You know what? Figures. Everything, all the good stuff happens off camera. I literally just shut the camera off and figured, you know what? I'm gonna try it one more time, and the thing started right up. So I don't know. It's just how things go. I think what it is I shut the fuel off. I shut the fuel off when I don't use it, and it takes a minute for it to get down and prime the carburetor. Especially when you're not running it all the time, the carburetor probably goes dry. So yeah, it started right up. I just touched it and it fired up. So yeah, good enough. Whoops. I guess we're gonna have to pop it. It's a good thing I live on a road that there's no traffic. Get this thing rolling here and we'll try to pop it. Because I probably shouldn't have tried to shift it like that. Now the battery's dead. Alright, we're picking up speed here. Oh, maybe I should just let it roll in the driveway. Now we're going pretty good now. Now let me try to throw this thing in reverse. Oh, as soon as I throw it in reverse, it just slows right down. I guess maybe I should just let her go in the driveway. It's a good thing I live on a hill. Good thing I decided to go uphill instead of downhill. Now, that's the kind of shit that happens when you play around. Now, we're going pretty good now. Let's try to pop it again. Nope. That thing just, well, I guess we're just gonna let her roll in the driveway. I guess the lesson to this is don't go too far away from the jumper pack. All in the name of fun. We'll get there eventually. Alright. Now if I decide to go downhill, we'd be screwed. Be getting a skid steer to push us back, or I'll probably just be getting the jumper pack, I guess. Alright, let's get this piece of shit started. All right, now I'm actually testing the jumper pack out in a situation where I actually need it rather than just to test it and play with it. Because I got a dead horse blocking the whole driveway. All right, look at that. So now we really feel good about this jumper pack. There we go, we had some fun on this 30-degree day. Now we can shut the fuel off and unhook the battery so it doesn't go any more dead than it already is. There we go. Good old little tractor here though. Alright, so here's something else we can screw around with while we're waiting for that wick to get saturated. The place I work at was throwing these shelves away and I couldn't resist to take them. So I'm a pack rat and I definitely have plans for as many shelves as I can get. So, yep, you guessed it, we're at the storage trailer again. Let's get these things in here. Now the question is where are we going to put these things? Looks like the only spot to put these is right here on this back wall. So I'll have to move these bikes again. And it's like the only spot I got to put them right now. Because I just built all these shelves. And I got all this lumber on this side. And I got heavy engines right here, but they're under that shelf anyway. I got them shelves there. I got the whole front packed. I tell you what, a 48 by 102 trailer fills up really quick when you have a lot of stuff. So let's move some stuff around here. I kind of wanted to keep this spot open in case I had something big I wanted to put in here with the skid steer, but just don't have any other place for these right now without getting into a whole nother project. So that's why they call it a storage trailer, I guess. Definitely not going to complain about shelves. Alright, look at that. All this nice storage to put more garbage. Well, there we go. I got about 4 boxes or 3 boxes and 2 totes unpacked, and now I can find stuff, which is great. I got all my like you know, just assortments of like cotter pins and O-rings and like screws and stuff like that, all different things on this shelf. These 2 shelves are mostly like electrical stuff, and I got some like welding and metal stuff on this shelf, and like fasteners and tape and just miscellaneous stuff. So yeah, when you got a lot of stuff, these 2 shelves, like, they fill up really quick. So I still got the bottom shelves on both of these, but the rest of it's pretty full. But the good news is I can get rid of these boxes, and those boxes can go, and now I got all this room right here. You know, these bikes are just a pain, because like bikes, there's just no good way to store bikes, you know, and they seem like they're always in the way. So you know, whatever, that's just the way it is, I guess. But yeah, I mean, I still got like a lot under these benches here that I could put, and like these shelves here are pretty well filled up for the most part. And then like right here, from like where the pintle plate starts, or the fifth wheel plate starts and goes up, is all full of like you know, building supplies and all that for a garage someday. But yeah, I'm pretty happy with this, being how like 2 months ago you could literally not, like, you climbed in this back door right here and you basically had to go up probably about as high as these shelves and just like climb over everything. So it was a pretty big project, but this is really, I mean, this is great, because now I could just come in here and I got room. I can use my, you know, this thing is really handy for a lot of stuff. And you know, I got my generator and water pump and all that, transmission jack, you know, so I can use this stuff now. I'll probably like put some plugs or extension cords. I'll probably put some lights up here eventually. I'd actually like to take this ceiling down, because when I back in the day, I used to haul wood chips, and I used to buy these heavy spec old wire and paper trailers, and put Luan on the top, and then put the tin in the center. That way when the chips flew out of the chipper, they wouldn't, because they would just go right through the fiberglass roof of the trailer. And you can see right here, I mean, you know, those wood chips flying out of the wood chippers are pretty violent. But what I'm saying is, someday I'd like to take this roof on this down, and just so the fiberglass roof is exposed, because I don't ever see myself hauling chips again. And that would let in so much light, you know, like as long as it's not covered with snow and stuff. But the problem is like it's really sunny out now, and of course there's snow on the ground, so that's even makes it better. But like on a gloomy day, or when it starts to get dark, it's so dark inside this trailer, I mean, you can't even see what you're doing. So I think taking that down, but I mean, that's, and I can guarantee like, and up above the Luan, there's tons of wood chips and dust and shit that gets up in there. So I can guarantee that's going to be a really messy project. So yeah, I don't know, whatever, I'll put that on the 10-year plan. But yeah, anyway, it's probably been all of an hour since we put the kerosene in that heater, so let's go check on that and see what it looks like. So here we are back at our new propane kerosene burner here. It's been about 2 hours now, a little more than 2 hours. So I'd imagine this thing is ready to go. So it looks like our lighting instructions, open door and turn wick knob clockwise to limit, and then push ignition lever. So let's do that. Open door, turn this all the way, and then push ignition lever. Oh, there we go. Okay, so now we got a flame. What else does it say here? Then properly seat the burner after 5 to 7 minutes. Adjust flame to proper height shown below after 30 minutes. Check flame high and adjust if necessary. Alright, so looks like we got like we want like a 1/2 inch tall flame. Well, I've never had one of these things before, so it's a little bit of a learning curve. Alright, I'm just lighting it on the bench for now just so we can all see what's going on. Alright, so I think I can shut the door now. I'd say it's probably like 50 degrees in here right now. You know, there's not really any accurate way to tell. I mean, alright, it's been about 5 minutes after this thing's burning, and I want to get it off this bench just because it's a little too close to the ceiling for my liking, so it's time to get this thing on the floor. Alright, what do we got here? Let's check it with this laser. Oh yeah, we got 490. No, it fluctuates. It was just like 490 something. Now it's like 460. But whatever, it's mid 400s. So let's let her go for about another 10 minutes and see what happens. Alright, so it's probably been almost a half hour since I lit this thing. And I've been watching it, and you can definitely see the flame in there is getting a lot bigger. And you can kind of hear it. I don't know if you can hear it. It's making like a flickering noise, like it's too rich, kind of. So I think it's time to turn this lever down a little bit. So let's throttle this thing back. Yeah, it looks like right about there is where we want it. Let's check our thermometer here about 30 minutes later. Oh wow, 532 degrees. Yeah, mid 5, so yeah, it's probably about as hot as it's gonna get. You know, obviously it depends on, you know, I got it probably about half throttle or whatever you call it right now, so yeah, mid 5s roughly. But like when you stand over this thing, it's pretty warm. And I gotta say, like you know, for a half hour in here, that thing has done way better than this electric one has. You know, like I said in the beginning of the video, the only difference is you don't want to leave this unattended. You know, this is something that you only want to have when you're out here. And the fumes, I actually don't notice any fumes right now, so you know, I don't know, we'll wait a few more hours and see what happens, but it's definitely doing a lot better job than that. So, but everything has its pros and cons. So I'm just gonna go ahead and let about, I don't know, another half hour or so go by, and we'll check on it again and finish up here. So here we are again. It's been at least an hour and a half since I've started this thing, and everything's been going great with it. And I don't smell any kind of fumes at all, actually. And it's actually really warm in here. It's probably about 35 degrees outside right now, and I'd say it's all of 65, at least 65 degrees in here. So this thing is, and I don't have the electric heater or any other heater going right now. It's all this thing. So this thing is doing such a good job, and I definitely don't regret buying this thing at this point at all. So let's just do one more quick test on it. This doesn't really say a whole lot. I mean, it's high 4s right now. And you know, I did turn it down a lot too. But yeah, of course I don't have a thermometer inside or outside, which, I mean, to me it doesn't really matter what the temperature is, because it is what it is. It's either comfortable or it's not. So I never really cared that much for a thermometer. So, but right now I can definitely say right now I mean, I don't even need this sweater on right now. I could easily take this off and be comfortable. I'm the kind of person that's outside dressed lightly in the cold anyway. I really like the cold weather, so this is actually very great in here for me personally. So this thing's a great purchase. And you know, I'll just get a close up here. I got this from Lowe's. This is what it is. So alright, so the other thing that I kind of tested and did somewhat of a half-ass review on was this GNC 660 jumper pack here. And we went out and had a little bit of fun with the old Ferguson tractor and tested it out a few times, and this jumper pack definitely held its own, I gotta say. And I mean, I have no regrets buying this thing. It was worth every penny. So these two new purchases that I've made, I'm very happy with, and think that I'll have them for a long time to come, and definitely like an investment. You can never go wrong buying tools. But anyway, that's it for another video here. Just a bunch of crazy stuff I'm compiling together just to share some of this stuff. So anyway, we'll see everybody in the next video, and thanks again for watching.